In a move that has sent shockwaves through the international community and reignited Cold War-era tensions, Russian warships have reached Cuban waters. This development has significant implications for the United States, evoking memories of the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 and raising concerns about the resurgence of Russian influence in the Western Hemisphere. This video delves into the details of this alarming development, examining its historical context, strategic implications, and potential responses from the United States and its allies. Echoes of the Cold War. The sight of Russian warships off the coast of Cuba is a stark reminder of the Cold War period, particularly the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, when the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war. During this tense standoff, the Soviet Union deployed ballistic missiles to Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, in response to US missile deployments in Turkey. The crisis was resolved through a tense diplomatic negotiation, with both sides agreeing to dismantle their missile installations. The arrival of Russian warships in Cuba in 2024 evokes memories of this perilous time, suggesting a potential revival of Cold War-era hostilities. This development comes amid already strained relations between the United States and Russia, exacerbated by conflicts in Ukraine, cyber warfare, and mutual accusations of election interference. A new geopolitical chessboard. The presence of Russian warships in Cuban waters represents a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape of the Western Hemisphere. For decades, the United States has maintained a doctrine of influence over Latin America, often referred to as the Monroe Doctrine, which opposes external powers' involvement in the region. The Russian move challenges this long-standing US policy and signals a bold assertion of Moscow's strategic ambitions, military posturing, and power projection. The deployment of Russian naval assets to Cuba is a clear demonstration of Moscow's ability to project military power far from its shores. This move serves several strategic purposes for Russia. Firstly, it acts as strategic deterrence by positioning warships near US waters, aiming to deter potential American military actions against its interests, particularly in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. This forward deployment complicates US strategic calculations and forces Washington to reconsider its options. Secondly, it signals Russia's intent to expand its influence in Latin America, a region traditionally dominated by US interests. This naval presence in Cuba could pave the way for deeper military and economic ties with other Latin American nations, potentially leading to a multipolar balance of power in the region. Lastly, the symbolism of Russian warships in Cuban waters serves as psychological warfare. It sends a powerful message to both domestic and international audiences that Russia is a resurgent global power capable of challenging US hegemony, bolstering Russia's standing on the world stage. Implications for US national security. The arrival of Russian warships in Cuba poses several direct and indirect threats to US national security. Firstly, the presence of these warships, equipped with advanced surveillance and intelligence gathering capabilities, allows Russia to monitor US military activities in the southeastern United States. This intelligence could be utilized to enhance Russia's strategic planning and operational effectiveness, potentially compromising US military operations and readiness. Secondly, while there is no evidence that Russia has deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba, the presence of warships raises concerns about the potential for such deployments in the future. Even conventional missile systems on these vessels could pose a significant threat to US assets and territory, necessitating increased vigilance and defensive measures. Lastly, Russia's actions could embolden other adversaries of the United States, such as China, Iran, and North Korea, to pursue similar strategies in their respective regions. This could lead to a more fragmented and unstable global security environment, with multiple hotspots of tension and potential conflict emerging simultaneously. The cumulative effect of these threats underscores the need for the US to closely monitor and respond to Russian naval activities in Cuba, as well as to strengthen alliances and security partnerships to counterbalance these emerging challenges. US response. The United States faces a delicate balancing act in responding to the Russian naval presence in Cuba. A measured response is crucial to avoid escalating tensions, while also demonstrating resolve and protecting national interests. Diplomatic engagement and alliances. Diplomatic engagement remains a cornerstone of the US response. Washington should leverage its alliances and partnerships to build a coordinated and robust international response to Russia's actions. The United States should reaffirm its commitments to NATO and other international alliances, signaling that any threat to US interests in the Western Hemisphere will be met with a collective response. This includes engaging with European allies, Canada, and Latin American partners to present a united front. Direct diplomatic channels with Russia should be maintained to address the issue and seek a de-escalation of tensions. High-level talks between US and Russian officials could explore potential compromises and confidence-building measures to prevent further deterioration of relations. Additionally, the United States should intensify its diplomatic efforts with Latin American countries, emphasizing the importance of regional stability and the risks posed by external powers' military presence. Strengthening economic and security ties with these nations can counterbalance Russia's influence. Military preparedness and deterrence. While diplomacy is crucial, the United States must also bolster its military preparedness to deter any potential threats posed by the Russian naval presence. Enhanced surveillance and reconnaissance operations in the Caribbean are essential for the US to closely monitor Russian naval activities. This effort should include deploying advanced aerial and maritime assets to effectively track and assess the capabilities of Russian warships. Strengthening the regional defense posture is also crucial. The US military should enhance its presence by conducting joint exercises and operations with allies and partners in the Caribbean and Latin America. These activities not only demonstrate the US commitment to regional security, but also serve to deter potential adversaries. Strategic communication plays a vital role in this context. Clear and consistent messaging is necessary to reassure allies and partners while sending a strong message to Russia. Public statements, press conferences, and social media campaigns can underscore the US resolve and emphasize the importance of maintaining a free and secure Western Hemisphere. Through these combined efforts, the US can effectively enhance its surveillance capabilities, strengthen regional defenses, and maintain robust strategic communication, thereby ensuring stability and security in the region. Economic and cyber measures. In addition to diplomatic and military responses, the United States can employ economic and cyber measures to pressure Russia and mitigate the strategic risks posed by its naval presence in Cuba. Sanctions and economic leverage are pivotal strategies the US should consider in response to Russian naval deployment to Cuba. By imposing targeted sanctions on Russian entities directly involved, the US can significantly hinder their operations. Coordinating these sanctions with international partners will amplify their impact, creating a united front against Russian aggression. In parallel, the US can offer economic incentives and aid packages to Latin American countries, bolstering their resilience against Russian influence and ensuring they remain aligned with Western interests. Enhancing cyber defense and offensive capabilities is another critical measure. Protecting critical infrastructure and military assets from potential Russian cyber attacks is paramount. Strengthening cyber defenses will safeguard these vital systems against disruption. Additionally, the US should consider deploying offensive cyber operations to disrupt and deter Russian activities that threaten national security. By proactively targeting Russian cyber capabilities, the US can mitigate threats and maintain a strategic advantage in the cyber domain. Together, these measures create a comprehensive approach to countering Russian naval and cyber threats, ensuring the protection of US interests and allies. The arrival of Russian warships in Cuba underscores the need for a comprehensive and long-term strategies, rapid deployment capabilities, and versatile force structures. Strengthening cyber and space capabilities is crucial to maintaining strategic superiority. The US should prioritize investments in cyber defense, offensive cyber operations, and space-based surveillance and communication systems. Finally, engaging in strategic dialogue with major global powers is essential to manage tensions and prevent conflicts. The US should pursue bilateral and multilateral dialogues with Russia, China, and other key players to address security concerns and explore avenues for cooperation. Diplomatic channels should remain open even in times of heightened tension. Renewing efforts towards arms control and non-proliferation agreements can reduce the risk of military escalation and enhance global stability. The US should work with international partners to modernize and enforce existing treaties. So, what do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.